'Twas the wind free east, sea west, the drifts did rising fairly. Sail loud and shrills, I hear the blast, I'm sure it's winter fairly. Up in the morning's no for me, up in the morning early, when all the hills are covered with snow. Well, I'm sure that it's winter fairly. The birds chittering in the thorn, all day they fare but sparely, and langs in nicht free into morn, I'm sure it's winter fairly. Up in the morning's no for me, up in the morning early, when all the hills are covered with snow. Well, I'm sure that it's winter fairly. Up in the morning early, when all the hills are covered with snow. Well, I'm sure that it's winter fairly. Up in the morning's no for me, up in the morning early, when all the hills are covered with snow. Well, I'm sure that it's winter fairly. Hello and thanks for joining us. It's Burns Night from the Dungeon. Okay, a song there reminding us about Burns's time as a farmer down in Ayrshire and Dumfries. I'm going to go straight into Burns's international anthem. A man's a man for all that. Written in the Scots, but it's a song for everybody. Is there for honest poverty that hangs his head and all that? The coward slave, we pass him by, we dare be poor for all that. For all that and all that, what toils obscure and all that. The rank is but the guinea stamp, the man's a goat for all that. What though in hamely fare we dine, we're hodden grey and all that. He fools their silks and knaves their wine, a man's a man for all that. For all that and all that, the tinsel show and all that. The honest man, though e'er say poor, is king of men for all that. You see yon Birkie called the Lord, what struts and stares and all that. Though hunters worship at his word, he's but a coof for all that. For all that and all that, his ribbon star and all that. The man o' independent mind, he looks and laughs at all that. A prince can make a belted knight, a marquis, duke, and all that. But an honest man's upon his micht, get faith, he mun not fall that. For all that and all that, the dignities and all that, a pith of sense and pride of worth, or higher rank than all that. Well, let us pray, become it may, as come it will, for all that sense and worth, or all the earth shall bear degree and all that. For all oh that, and oh that is coming yet. For all that mighty man the world o'er shall brothers be. For all that. It's Burns Night from the Dungeon. Now I'm going to go straight on to a song which might have been written by Burns. This is Lazy Lindsay, you might know this one. I'm going to put two songs together here, which is today by the Healings. Lazy Lindsay is invited to go to the Healings. And it's maybe a song that Burns collected rather than one that he actually wrote himself, because Burns was, of course, a great collector, a great archivist of Scots songs. Wherever it came from. I'm going to sing Lazy Lindsay, and I'm going to go straight into another Burns song about the Healings right after that one. Here's Lazy Lindsay. Will ye gang to the Healings, Lazy Lindsay? Will ye gang to the Healings wi' me? Will ye gang to the Healings, Lazy Lindsay? My bride and my darling to be. To gang to the Healings wi' you, sir. I dinna ken how that can be, for I ken know the road I'll be going, nor ken I the lad I'm going wi'. Will ye gang to the Healings, Lazy Lindsay? Will ye gang to the Healings wi' me? Will ye gang to the Healings, Lazy Lindsay? My bride and my darling to be. Oh, lazy lass, ye may know little, sin ye dinna ken me, for I am Lord Ronald MacDonald. I'm a chieftain of high degree. Will ye gang to the Healings, Lazy Lindsay? Will ye gang to the Healings wi' me? Will ye gang to the Healings, Lazy Lindsay? My bride and my darling to be. Oh, if you were Lord Ronald MacDonald, a great yin I ken you mun be. But how can a chieftain say like mighty, think o' a poor lassie like me? Will ye gang to the Healings, Lazy Lindsay? Will ye gang to the Healings wi' me? Will ye gang to the Healings, Lazy Lindsay? My bride and my darling to be. She's gotten a crown of green satin, she's kilted it up to the knee, and she's halfway Lord Ronald MacDonald, his bride and his darling to be. Will ye gang to the Healings, Lazy Lindsay? Will ye gang to the Healings wi' me? Will ye gang to the Healings, Lazy Lindsay? My bride and my darling to be. So she's off. Another song about the Highlands. This is my own tune. My heart's in the Highlands, my heart's no here. My heart's in the Highlands, a-chasing the deer, chasing the wild deer and following the road. My heart's in the Highlands wherever I go. Farewell to the Highlands, farewell to the north, the birthplace of valour, the country of worth. Wherever I wander, wherever I rove, hills o'er the Highlands forever I love. My heart's in the Highlands, my heart's no here. My heart's in the Highlands, a-chasing the deer, chasing the wild deer and following the road. My heart's in the Highlands wherever I go. Farewell to the mountains high covered with snow. Farewell to the straths and green valleys below. Farewell to the forests and the wild hanging woods. Farewell to the torrents and the loud pouring floods. My heart's in the Highlands, my heart's no here. My heart's in the Highlands, chasing the deer, chasing the wild deer and following the road. My heart's in the Highlands wherever I go. My heart's in the Highlands, my heart's no here. My heart's in the Highlands, chasing the deer, chasing the wild deer and following the road. My heart's in the Highlands wherever I go. Well, I hope you liked that one. There is another tune, but I don't actually know what the tune is, so I just put my own one to My Heart's in the Highlands. It's a well-known get away from it lyric, really, isn't it? Okay, one of the stories that we often hear about Burns was that he was contemplating emigrating, and in fact he booked a passage. You might know this story. He actually had his ticket reserved at Greenock and he was supposed to be sailing to Jamaica. Now, when he got there was a job waiting for him. A doctor down in Ayrshire who had shares in a plantation had lined up a job for Burns. So if he'd taken that job, he would have been the bookkeeper on a sugar estate. Now that, of course, means he'd have been in charge of slaves. Now, as it happens, Burns never went. He did actually hear word that a volume of his verse was published. So he stayed and made his fortune in Scotland. A couple of years later, he wrote this song, The Slave's Lament, which I think, if you listen to the words, leaves us in no doubt what Burns thought of slavery. This is a slave's lament. It was in sweet Senegal that my foes did me enthrall, for the land of Virginia, Virginia, yo. Torn from that lovely shore, and must never see it more. And alas, I am weary, weary, oh. On along that distant coast, there's no bitter snow or frost like the land of Virginia, Virginia, oh. Where streams forever flow, and where flowers forever blow. And alas, I am weary, weary, oh. But the burden I must bear, though the cruel scourge I fear, in the land of Virginia, Virginia, oh. And I think of friends most dear, with a bitter, bitter tear. And alas, I am weary, weary, oh. It was in sweet Senegal that my foes did me enthrall, for the land of Virginia, Virginia, oh. Torn from that golden shore, and must never see it more. And alas, I am weary, weary, oh. And alas, I am weary, weary, oh. Clearly an abolitionist song, The Slave's Lament by Robert Burns. One of his protest songs, you might call this next song a protest, but this is a Deals of Aubrey Exciseman, another well-known tune, and I think we have to regard this one as really It's a comedy song, but Burns is laughing at himself. In The Deals of War with the Exciseman, he's of course laughing at himself because he had to take the job of exciseman. No, he never went to Jamaica, he never made his fortune, but he did have to pick up a salary. I don't know how many miscreants Burns arrested in his role of exciseman, but in this song he laughs at the devil is taking the taxman away, right? The deal came fiddling through the tune, he's danced a war with exciseman, and ilka wife cries, "Old Mahoon, I wish her a luck at the prize man." The deal's a war, the deal's a war, the deal's a war with exciseman. He's danced a war, he's danced a war, he's danced a war with exciseman. We'll make, we'll malt, we'll brew, we'll drink, we'll laugh, we'll sing and rejoice, man. And money bro, thanks to the muckle black deal who's danced a war with exciseman. The deal's a war, the deal's a war, the deal's a war with exciseman. He's danced a war, he's danced a war, he's danced a war with exciseman. There's three some reels, there's four some reels, there's hornpipes and spaceman. Irbis dance that came to the lambs, the deal's a war with exciseman. The deal's a war, the deal's a war, the deal's a war with exciseman. He's danced a war, he's danced a war, he's danced a war with exciseman. The deal came fiddling through the tune, he's danced a war with exciseman. And ilka wife cries, "Old Mahoon, I wish her a luck at the prize man." The deal's a war, the deal's a war, the deal's a war with exciseman. Danced a war, he's danced a war, he's danced a war with exciseman. The deal's a war, the deal's a war, the deal's a war with exciseman. Danced a war, he's danced a war, he's danced a war with exciseman. And off he goes. The deal's a war. Now, Burns, of course, travelled around Scotland, and as we've just seen, he did actually travel to the Heelands. Maybe that's when he wrote that famous line, "My heart's in the Heelands, my heart's no here." This is a song from down by the borders, not too far away from Ayrshire. And this is the song he wrote about Gala, about the lads of Gala. So sung as Burns songs often were from the lassie's point of view. This is a eulogy to the braw lads of Gala. And that's what it's called, braw lads. Braw lads on Yarrow's brazy rove around the blooming heather. But Yarrow's braes nor Ettrick shores can match the lads o' Gala water, braw lads. There is a name, a secret in upon them all. I'll loo him better, I'll be his, and he'll be mine, the bonny lads o' Gala water, braw lads. Although his daddy was nae laird, and though I hae no muckle tucker, which in kind is true as love, we'll tend to flocks by Gala water, braw lads. It ne'er was wealth, it ne'er was wealth that cuffed content, meant peace or pleasure, but bands and bliss, or mutual love. Oh, that's the world's chiefest treasure, braw lads. Braw lads, in Yarrow's braes they'd rove amang the blooming heather. But Yarrow's braes nor Ettrick shores can match the lads o' Gala water, braw lads. Yep, I think I first heard the Corries sing that one, the braw lads of Gala. Now I'm going to deviate a wee bit from Robert Burns, but I'm going to move over to Paisley, to the other Robert Tannahill, who was a great fan, a huge fan of Burns, and he was also roughly his contemporary, but Robert Tannahill survived Burns by a few years, and a lot of Tannahill's themes are similar. But like Burns, Tannahill was a songwriter, singer-songwriter, and also the reason we include him tonight and Burns Night from the Dungeon is because Robert Tannahill was the first secretary of the Paisley Burns Club. And they say in Paisley that that was the first of the Burns clubs, although there's folk in Ayrshire will disagree. However, it was one of the first ones anyway, and as it was set up, Robert Tannahill was one of its founding members. So I guess it's because we have the Burns clubs throughout the world, really, that many people tonight, right now in fact, are celebrating the memory of Robert Burns. So I'm going to play one of the songs of Robert Tannahill, and this is called The Dusky Glen. So I've chosen this because it's, well, like a lot of Burns' songs, it's about the landscape, it's about the country he lived in. So this really describes the Gleniffa Braes, really, up behind Paisley. So it's called The Dusky Glen. And again, if you hear anybody else playing this one, this is my own tune. It's not actually the original tune, because I don't have the original tune, so I've done another one for it. This is The Dusky Glen by Robert Tannahill. We'll meet beside the dusky glen by yon Burns side, where bushes form a cosy den on yon Burns side. The broomy knowes be green, and there we may be seen, yet we'll meet at Indrum by yon Burns side. I'll lead ye to the birken bower on yon Burns side. Say sweetly, wolf, we woodbine floor on yon Burns side, where a busy prying eye ne'er disturbs a lover's joy, while another's arms they lie down by yon Burns side. A warrior rude and feeling crew by yon Burns side, those fairy scenes are no for you by yon Burns side. As he smooths the theme by the sweetly murmuring stream, and the rock-closed echoes skim down by yon Burns side. Through the plantain taps a tinge we gowd on yon Burns side, and Lomond draws her foggy shroud o' yon Burns side. Far fraid and noisy scene, out through the fields a lane, then we'll meet my ain dear Jean down by yon Burns side. We'll meet beside the dusky glen on yon Burns side, bushes form a cosy den on yon Burns side. Though broomy knowes be green, and there we may be seen, but we'll meet at Indrum by yon Burns side. And that was not yon Burns side, that was actually called the Dusky Glen. By Robert Tannahill of Paisley. He was a huge fan of Burns. There's a story that he once made a pilgrimage. He once walked from Paisley to Burns Cottage, over the hills into Ayrshire. Maybe that should be one of the new long-distance walks, the Tannahill Trail. It wouldn't take you that long, really. Okay, now, I'm going to do a song which Burns wrote about the greatest event, I suppose, that happened in Scotland at that time, as his day really was the union of the parliaments, the union, which meant that the Scottish Parliament, of course, wound itself up out of existence. And the historical reports at the time say two things that are very important, really, about the Scottish Parliament ending its own existence. One is it was deeply unpopular. If the ordinary folk had had a vote, it wouldn't have gone through. But the other thing is it really only did go through because of bribery, and that was literally the case. So this song of Burns, it's called A Parcel of Rogues. It describes the members of the old Scottish Parliament and why they were actually bribes. Well, why they voted for their own dissolution is because they were paid. So it talks about English gold, and that's exactly what the poet was talking about then. So this is a parcel of rogues in a nation, referring to the old Scottish Parliament, which wound itself up. In the spring of 2007, they debated the articles, both in Scotland and in England, throughout the autumn of 1706. And then with the help of some sweeteners, the Scottish Parliament finally agreed on the deal, which we have still to this day, which is that Scots law is separate. This is a parcel of rogues. Farewell to all our Scottish fame, farewell to ancient glory, farewell even to the Scottish name, say famed in martial story. Now sad runs to the Solway sands, Tweed runs to the ocean, to mark war England's prophet stands. Such a parcel of rogues in the nation. But force or guile could not subdue too many warlike ages. It is wrought now by coward few, for hireling traitors' wages. The English still we could disdain, secure in valour station, but English gold has been ordained. Such a parcel of rogues in a nation. Or would or I had seen the day that treason thus could sell us. My old great had lean in clay, with Bruce and the loyal Wallace, but pith and power till my last hour, I might this declaration that were bought and were sold for English gold. Such a parcel of rogues in a nation. And the parcel of rogues was the old Scottish Parliament. Okay, can I just say thanks to my pal Greg, if you're watching, Greg. Greg's got a sore throat, and if he gets better, maybe the two of us will be doing some more songs later on, down in the dungeon. And so that's just about it for tonight. I've got one more song today, and we're going to go out with, well, we think in broadcasting in Scotland that this should be Scotland's national anthem. And so you can join in with me if you like at home. Shout so I can hear you. So thanks for joining us in Broadcasting Scotland, and we regularly do the news programme, of course, Scotland at 7, so have a look at that during Mondays to Fridays, and we've got a Sunday lunchtime programme goes out as well, and we will be doing more music during the year once everybody's fit. So let's finally, just before I finish, let's thank Robert Burns, Scotland's greatest singer-songwriter, for the brilliant songs. We'll have a wee toast to Burns' memory afterwards with that glass of malt which I'm looking at over there. And of course, we shouldn't forget to say happy birthday, Robbie. I think today Robert Burns is 225. I haven't done the arithmetic, but somebody told me that earlier. Okay, so this is... Now, Robert Burns had an eyewitness there. This is what the Bruce told his troops before the Battle of Bannockburn. It was recorded. Scots were hay when Wallace bled, Scots when Bruce was aften led. Welcome to your gory bed, or to victory. Now's the day and now's the hour, see the front of battle lower, see approach proud Edward's power, chains and slavery. War will be a traitor knave, war will fill a coward's grave. War say bases be a slave, let him follow me. War for Scotland's king and law, freedom's strongly draw. Freemen stand or freemen fall, let him follow me. Scots were hay where Wallace bled, Scots when Bruce was aften led. Welcome to your gory bed, or to victory. Now's the day and now's the hour, see the front of battle lower, see approach proud Edward's power, chains and slavery. Oppressions, woes and pains, by our sons in servile chains, we will drain our dearest veins, but they shall be free. Lay the proud usurpers low, tyrants fall and every foe, liberties in every blow, let us do our deed. Scots were hay where Wallace bled, Scots when Bruce is aften led. Welcome to your gory bed, or to victory. Now's the day and now's the hour, see the front of battle lower, see approach proud Edward's power, chains and slavery. That's it from me. Thanks for watching Burns Night from the Dungeon. Happy birthday, Robbie, and I'll see you later.